Your father dies. 6 months later, you're not grieving him anymore, but you're suing your brother to court. This happens in Nigerian families today. No will, no documentation, just a house and 3 children, and probably a lawyer who is about to make a lot of money off your pain. The oldest son will say, I'm the oldest child. Of course, whatever belongs to his father automatically becomes his own. The daughter who spends the most money in the funeral will say, she's old. And then maybe the last child who probably traveled out 10 years, 15 years ago, suddenly wants his or her share. Look, this isn't a family problem. It's not about saying my siblings are not united, my family is this, my family is that. It's a documentation problem and it is 100% preventable. But only if it happens before someone dies, not after. So, if you own a property in Nigeria or your parents do, I need you to sit with this question for a second. If your parents died tomorrow, would your siblings fight over what is left? If your parents died tomorrow or even today, God forbid, would your siblings fight over what is left? Be honest, because if the answer is maybe or I don't know, that's not a family problem waiting to happen. That's a legal problem you can fix today before it becomes a family problem tomorrow. Hi, my name is Onye Eze, and today I'm going to be walking you through exactly why Nigerian families tear each other apart over inherited property and the specific steps that can prevent it. So let's start with the truth. Most inherited disputes in Nigeria aren't just about greed. They're about ambiguity. So I'll start with this one. There is no will, or the property wasn't properly executed. Let's say the property was a land with no clear single ownership. Everyone assumed they know what dad wanted because he told them something different privately over the years. And this can add grief, add financial pressure, add extended family members with opinions. All these things put together can create war that can drag Nigerian families to court for years and sometimes even decades. So what exactly can you do to protect your family from this? First, a properly executed will, not a note in a drawer, a legally witnessed document registered where it needs to be registered, naming an executor everyone respects. Secondly, title document in one clear name or clearly structured co-ownership. So there is no ambiguity about who legally holds what before anyone passes, right? Thirdly, and this one is the one most families keep, a documented family conversation, not a deathbed conversation. Maybe the parents or the father is about to die and I said, oh, they should give this house to this son or this daughter. No, not a deathbed conversation. A calm, recorded, ideally lawyer witness conversation while the parent is alive and well, where expectations are set out loud in front of everyone. No privacy. There is no private promise made by my father. Some parents do that. They will just promise a child or privately, right, individually. No. Recorded conversation with a lawyer as a witness. Then what would you do if you're already in this situation? What can you do if you're already in this situation? If a parent has already passed and there is no will, you are not powerless. There is a legal process to this or for this, and the earlier you engage it properly, the better for you. This is where you speak to a probate lawyer immediately before anybody makes a move on the property. This is where you speak to a lawyer immediately before anybody think of selling or listing out the property, right? So I've put in my bio the full inheritance protection framework and the well-structured family conversation scripts and red flags to watch out for in a guide. The link is in my bio, so kindly click the link on my bio to download. If you're watching this for the first time and you know of a family or you're in a family that hasn't had this conversation yet, please don't wait for someone to die first. Don't wait for a funeral before you bring it up. Start it this week. Alright guys, so that will be all for today. If you find this useful, kindly subscribe to this channel and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.